Hello, everybody. Welcome to the next installment of AI-powered service providers. We had our webinar last night, and if you want to catch the replay, that is available for you now. This is the first in our next sort of 10 days of looking at specific types of service provision and how you can use AI to help you get your projects done and get them done to a higher quality using AI. So my name is Maneksha. If you are new here, this is streaming to my YouTube channel and to my Facebook page. So if you have not come across me before, my name is Maneksha and I am a professional nerd and the creator of Marketing Magic, which is an AI-powered business growth tool for small business owners designed to save you 40 hours a month. So today we are going to be looking at specifically social media managers and social media management. If you are a service provider, then this is going to show you some specific examples of ways that you can integrate AI into your deliverables and outcomes processes as you're working with clients. If you are a small business owner and you are not, a social media manager, but you're looking for some hints and tips as to how to do this for yourself while you're still growing your business to the point of being able to hire someone else, then this is going to have some handy tips in it for you as well. So please do introduce yourself in the comments. If you're watching, I would love to hear a bit more about you. Feel free to share a little bit more about your business and a little bit of information in the chat. This is an awkward time for my audience normally. We are usually doing things in the evening, UK time, which is sort of daytime for my North American friends. But I'm going to the theatre with my husband later this evening. So we've got a slightly different time today. And I would imagine lots of people will be watching the replay of this one particularly. So if there are any questions that come up for you after you've watched the replay and I'm no longer live to answer them, please do feel free to ask in the chat and I'll circle back to you. I am just going to double check that we're streaming onto Facebook as well and yes, we are. So that's perfect. And what we're going to do is a little screen share and we're going to do some real-time examples of what a social media manager might do. And we're going to look at some things in real time. So I wanted this to be as, real time as possible to kind of show how quickly things are able to be done off the bat. So I'm going to pull up some windows and share my screen. Rachel is here. Hey, Rachel. Lovely to see you here. Rachel helps me behind the scenes with all things Marketing Magic and is part of my team alongside Lucy. So it's really great to have her here. Let me share my screen. So we are going to start out. I've got this document, created a template document. And we are going to identify some of the key things that you might do as a social media, outcomes that your clients might be looking for. And we are going to use a little bit of AI to help us out. And then we're going to look at specifically how we can make those workflows happen. Like I said, I really wanted to be able to kind of do this in real time to show you the benefit of using AI and how quickly we can get things done with it. So I'm over in Playground, which is the sort of developer version of accessing GPT, the GPT language model. But the key thing here is that your API and Playground results do not inform future learning for OpenAI's language models. And so if you're working with clients, that data privacy is a really important factor. If you have signed any confidentiality agreements and things like that, you really, really should not be using ChatGPT without having, very clear consent and boundaries around that with your clients. So I'm using this just for the sake of showing you the interface, but we're going to say list out 8 outcomes a social media manager would provide for a small business. And then we're going to hit submit and we're going to have a little look at this. So engagement, we know is going to be a big factor. We've got some market research, generating leads, increasing traffic, building a social media strategy. We are going to stick with building a social media strategy here. So we're going to pull that one out, and we're going to also pull out engaging with customers and increased brand awareness I'm going to tidy this up as we go. Crisis management as well. So now we're going to put role responsibilities a social media manager might have in a small business. And we're going to get some responsibilities out here as well, because these are going to tie more to the deliverable side of things. So we've got creating and implementing a social media marketing plan and strategy. We're going to put this in our outcomes section here. And we're going to put make it a to-do list item so we can see when we've done that. Develop engaging content. So we're going to add that in as well. Are there any that we're not going to manage? All the social channels, track analytics, manage and oversee the social content. Okay, perfect. So we're going to take these as well. And we're just going to tidy this up, and you can have access to this document once we have finished so that you can see how it all works together. So there are some outcomes. So we've got a social media marketing plan. So we've got content research and ideas. We've got specific content plan, editorial calendar, content calendar. There we go. Developing engaging content. So engaging and brand relevant repurposing content. So we're going to leave that there as the starting point. If there's any other things that you are doing as part of social media management and you would like some more specific examples here, do let me know. So creating brand content for specific brand assets. So we've got podcast, blog post, product launch, and some different bits and pieces there as well that also might come under your social media manager role. So let me keep the chat open, make sure that we are answering people's questions if they do come in. But like I said, I'm expecting this to be quieter. So we've got some roles and responsibilities and some outcomes. I'm going to remove the day-to-day tasks here, but let's call this examples as a heading. So I have got Marketing Magic up here in the background, and there are some different brand profiles here on my account, but we have got a couple of businesses that are not my specific businesses. They are made up, they're fictional, that are used for doing demos. And what we're going to do is pretend that we are the social media manager for Gorgeous Nails E17. So we're going to start by creating a content plan. We've already got some of the sort of core information set up for this business already. This is a fictional nail salon in my local area, and we've made that our default brand. I'm just going to uncheck this one. And then we are going to get started. So the first things first, what does a social media content plan look like for this business? So if we just wanted to get started on a sort of general idea of what to do for this brand, we can just hit submit here on the 30-day social plan. I am just going to very quickly check behind the scenes which model I'm using on my account, because I think I might be on GPT-4, which is slightly slower when I'm doing demos. So I'm just going to change this out so that we're on a fast one, because otherwise you'll spend a little bit longer than needed watching this happen. So we've got some results here anyway. So introduce our nail art services with a colourful photo of our best work, share a before and after picture of a client's nails to show the transformation, post a video on how to maintain manicured nails at home, share a client testimonial praising our services, highlight the hygiene measures we take in our salon, run a nail art of the week contest, inviting followers to share their nail art pictures, share a post about the benefits of gel nails, post a time-lapse video of creating complex nail art design. So you can see that we're getting some good ideas for the types of content that this business might be able to post over the course of a 30-day period. So when you've got a commercial account, you can, or a Marketing Magic account, a paid account, you can integrate your G Drive or Notion and send these results straight over there. But for the purposes of this, if you're using the free trial account, you can copy and paste. And we are going to go into the document and we're going to put 30-day social media plan. And we're just going to copy and paste that in here. And we're going to create headings so it's easy for you to skim this afterwards, okay? So we've got a social media plan. This is not the result that we would give to our clients, okay? This is, we're always, with AI, taking 70 to 80% of what's there and making sure that it's edited and filtered and is relevant to the business. So we're just using this as a starting point. Now, we've got some different content concepts for the 30-day period. And if we go back to the All Tools page, we have got a freestyle tool, which I'm going to show you a little bit later in this process. But we also have a content outline. So if we have our brand set up and running here, there are some things that you can generate that are about the brand specifically, where you're going to get some content ideas, which could be for blog posts or other parts of your marketing strategy, but you're also going to get some more concepts for social media posts. So a lot of business owners know what they do, right? If you say to them, show me an example of your work, tell me how you help that customer, that's something that they really easily can provide. What they often, and I include myself in this, lack is the ability to filter out what's most relevant for their ideal and potential customers, because actually there's so many things you could post, there's so many different types of advice that you find out there as well. So we are going to copy and paste some of these about the brand ideas here as well, and we're going to put I'm going to just you're going to have to excuse my words. The fact that I was doing a webinar last night for over an hour means that my words today are not working as well as they normally do. So putting the headings in here just so that you can kind of see the process. This is Markdown, by the way. So anytime AI gives you results where you've got like extra symbols, it just means that if you're pasting into something like Notion, you will have formatted text. So it'll be formatted as bold. Google Docs does not support that. So what I am instead just going to do is a find and replace of this. And I'm going to just replace all. And it's going to remove all of my little stars there. So that's nice and tidy. Then we're going to go back here and we're going to also take these content titles and use... I'm going to put content titles. And while I'm doing this in real time, I'm going to put Marketing Magic Tool here so that you've got a link to exactly where you can do this for yourself, because I feel like that's a helpful thing to add into the document. So we're going to put that there. So we've now got a variety of ideas for what you could post over the course of a month, as well as some different content ideas and some social post ideas. Now, one of the key things that we want to think about when we are doing any kind of social content is this word engaging, right? The key thing for social media content to be successful is that your ideal customers are finding it engaging, that people are getting into it on the algorithms, that people are commenting, that they're liking, all of that good stuff. That is why we spent so many years with like quote graphics being such a fundamental part of especially Instagram and different things, because things that are going to inspire people, educate people, give people a takeaway quickly in the moment are something that people respond to really well. As a social media manager, you know that as you're increasing that engagement, the number of people that are engaging with that business means that there's a bigger audience for things like advertising, and the impact that has on your business is really significant. Now, you can create engaging content really easily. It is not difficult to get people to engage with things on the internet. What is more difficult and requires your expertise as a social media manager is the ability to get the relevant content to also be engaging. So we've got like a little Venn diagram going on of your content needs to be relevant to your audience and also engaging for them, so that you're not just building an audience of people who just want to like things on social media. Some of the worst conversion rates in terms of actual sales into a business come from platforms like Instagram and not quite so much Facebook, but Instagram in particular. I've had a lot of experience where the conversion rate from traffic that comes from Instagram is like less than 0.5%, where the industry average is 1 to 3%. And for me personally, I've had launches that have done 5%, 8%, 16%. So when we're seeing traffic come over from some of these platforms, it's already people who are not necessarily as likely to buy quickly compared to traffic from search or traffic from social on things like Facebook. If you're in North America, Pinterest has a really good conversion rate often for people as well, or digital products. So when we're thinking about the social media side of things, the key things that we want to be providing for our clients are engagement, but from the right audience, and making sure that when we're curating that group of people, it is the people who are likely to be most interested in what we have to offer. So engaging, creative, innovative content, engaging is something that we are thinking about here. How do you create engaging content? So lots of people are like, oh, photography, video, making sure that you're doing that. All of that is good. The thing that makes the most engaging content is talking about the things that your audience wants to know about. So when you are positioning engaging content, if you are talking about the things that your customers have got questions about, that they've been thinking about, that they've been, mulling over, then that content is much more likely to get engagement. So we've started off with some general ideas, but how do we create engaging content? And we're going to just give this a heading, and we're going to give this heading here, because we're now going to look at how we get some ideas for content based on the specific things that our ideal customers might be thinking about. So first things first, I'm going to make sure, that we have got some content pillars going on here. So we've got gel nail art, we've got biab nail art, we've got acrylic nails, how to grow your natural nails, and let's do nail health as the fifth content pillar. So the content pillars that we have saved here then enable us to go over to the content tools again and start to generate some ideas that are more specific to the things that we provide. So it might be the services, it might be the topics, but we are thinking through some of the subtopics, some of the different questions that people might ask, and we're going to find the types of questions that our ideal customers are most likely to be asking, because that is the stuff that people are most likely to then engage with. We can use that as a starting point for our content creation. So we've got some questions here, and we're going to put some customer FAQs in our document, and we are going to list this out here. We're then going to have a little look at some, let's do nail health, and get some questions from here as well. And we can then copy and paste that, and then we'll filter down through some of our results. And again, I've just left it on GPT-4 because my brain is not working this morning. It's on Pacific time. I should still be asleep. So we've got some more questions here. So we're going to put let's put nail health, and we're going to just give that another heading. Just love a heading moment. And then gel nail art. So these are some headings from our FAQs. So we've got some different ideas here. We've also got some good topics. So we could take those subtopics as well, and we could actually just paste them in the same sections for the sake of keeping everything in one place. So we're going to put that in here as well, gel nail art. Now, we are going to go over to customer magic, and we're going to go to customer journey, and we are going to look at the different stages of the customer journey. We are specifically going to look at awareness and interest, because these are areas where you can engage people who are maybe asking topical questions of the search algorithms, and we can get some different ideas of what our customers are thinking about, different questions that they might have as well. So let's now go over here, and we're going to put customer problems in this next heading. Now, oh, wrong heading. Let's go back here. I can actually close that for now. And then we can also create some more FAQs. And then we can pull this together into a social media plan. And then we can repurpose content from that plan based on, pictures that our clients have taken. They might have got, let's take this nail salon as an example. Your a salon owner might take pictures or do a video for every single client who agrees to it, who comes into the salon, and that's potentially 3 to 5 pieces of content a day. So what you can do once you have created the strategic plan and outline is then filter into that plan the best pieces of that content. So instead of starting from the place of like everything that your customer or your client is trying to do, everything that they've already created, the entire backlog of all of their content and everything they've ever thought about when it comes to marketing their business, you can create a little bit more of a framework and then bring things into it by starting from this place of customer awareness, and ultimately making sure that you understand who your clients' customers are is going to help them grow their business. It's going to mean that your retainer lasts longer, et cetera, et cetera. But the key to creating engaging content is having that fundamental awareness of who you're talking to. And that is a really easy thing to observe if you've got a really engaged social account already. But if you're starting from scratch, or if you are working with somebody who just hasn't necessarily needed to give much thought to their ideal customer, this is a really good way for you to get inside the mind of the ideal customer of your client, who they're trying to talk to, who they're trying to reach out to on their social channels. And if you're a business owner yourself and you're doing this for yourself, then you are your own client in this analogy. But obviously this particular demo is talking more about how we pull things from, a client's business. So we've got some different customer problems here, and let's just, for the sake of comprehension, go in and generate a couple more for the second stage of the customer journey. We can also do some doing tasks. So what are people doing at the point that they're thinking about this? So we're going to put this in here as well. And I'm actually going to label this customer journey awareness. And we are going to paste this and put customer journey interest. And again, I can label this document so that you can go over to the Marketing Magic tools specifically and use this yourself, either in your free trial or in your account if you're already a Marketing Magic user. So we've got some more questions here as well. So we've got some, specific things here that are going to be of interest to our ideal audience. Now we can go back to this idea of our 30 days of social media content. And what time is it? It's 25 past. So let's do an actual spreadsheet. Let's do it that way. Because this is a really easy way to do it at a glance. Let me pull that in here. And I'll link to the spreadsheet as well, so you can kind of see this afterwards. So we've got the day, the post concept, the caption or content. So let's do this. And we're just going to make it look a bit prettier, because I have to say that life is too short for ugly Google documents. So we're now going to do our 1 to 3. Let's do a 30-day plan. And we're going to put post title. And you might also, only be doing 5 days per week. So we can also do week. Let's do this one, week 1, week. And then we can delete that. Of the month. Okay, so there we go. So depending on how you want to do it, you can also obviously label it that way. We're going to keep it simple for the sake of this and do days 1 to 5. So we're going to put final plan here. And then we are going to pop over to our originally generated social media plan, pop that in here. So we know that introducing our nail art services is a good shout. So we're going to pop that in here and introduce our nail art services. And we can put this in here as well. I'm not going to use all of them. How to manicure your nails. So we're just, we maybe don't want to include a testimonial. We do want to highlight the hygiene measures that we take, but let's say we want to do this on day 8 instead. And we also want to run a contest, but we're going to wait and do that towards the end of the month and do that up here. And then we'll do a time-lapse video. Let's say we know that we have the content already for that. We're going to put that here. So there we go. Let's take this one as well. So we've got some gaps here, obviously. Now what we can have a little look at is some of the other ideas. So transformations, meet the artist. So let's say we do want to do a meet the nail artist. And we're going to do, let's say Jane is one of them. And then let's do Josie as the second one. So, and then we can maybe do a third one here and do Katrina. So let's say you've got, different people in your salon. You want to introduce some of the people so that they're on your feed as well. And that could be done in a video or whatever. Let's say content format as well. As you are going through this, the idea of what the social media post is, and then the specific content title, because actually introducing your nail art services is great, but what you're going to, what specifically do you want to look at here? Is there a particular title or approach or angle that you want to take to that? And let's go back over here. So we've got, and we're going to do a tutorial, and let's say we're going to do a tutorial here. Simple French tips at home. But we're going to put that here because technically that's the social concept. Fun fact Friday is more date-based, obviously. You might want to, share some customer testimonials in here, but we're going to put before and after customer testimonial. And then let's do a nail biting to long natural nails. So you kind of can get the idea of how you would work through this to bring out specific ideas and then plug that in. And just this piece of, yes, AI is going to give you lots of things. Marketing Magic specifically is going to give you lots of really banging ideas. But you need to pull in your own expertise so that you can build this out and know that, okay, for the first week, we are really wanting to promote our new, BIAB nail services, which are going to help people who've got problematic nails. So you're going to want to pull in the right content based on what the goals are of your customers. And you can do that a lot more easily when you have of your customers, as in the clients, when you understand what your clients' customers are trying to achieve. Because if your client wants to get more bookings for builder in a bottle, nail art and nails in general, the things that you're talking about on social are going to be, how did this person take their nails from that to this? How did our nail artist learn how to do this? What are the benefits of it? How can you look after your natural nails? And some of those different questions. And so when you are providing your expertise as a service to your clients, ultimately what they want is for you to help them reach their goals. And their goals are often for local businesses going to be connected to getting more bookings and appointments. Depending on what it is specifically they're looking at, and this applies to things like launches as well, the way that you're building out that engagement content and thinking through how you're building out that strategy for them needs to be informed by their goals, but also the goals of their customers. And that's where Marketing Magic can just really help shortcut that process, because otherwise you can spend absolutely hours kind of filtering through content, doing a bit more market research, things like that. Whereas this kind of really helps to shortcut that process. So as far as building out your social plan is concerned, if I wasn't talking to you, this would have been done 3 times already. But because I'm talking and doing at the same time, it's taking a little bit longer. We're going to move away from the gorgeous nails example now to look at some of the specific things that you can do in your business. And we are going to now just tick off some of these things. We've done some content research. We've also looked at how to create a specific content plan there and thought about the idea of content being engaging. Now, brand relevant content, if you were wanting to create some, let's say someone wants an Instagram 9 grid, they don't want to be using Instagram all the time, but they do want to, have some posts so that they can post their stories and post reels without having to constantly think about adding new things to their Instagram grid. This brand social media post is going to help with the sort of starting point for creating an Instagram 9 grid that strategically maps out the different things that you would want to include in that. So what are the key things that people need to know about your business? And as somebody who does social media management, you are responsible, obviously, for the captions, but you are also responsible for the creative, and actually the sort of strategic positioning of these, and the actual copy is not the thing that makes a totally successful social post. You also need to make sure that it's delivered in an interesting way, that the graphics are on point. There's all of those different things that are involved. So if you automate a little bit of your caption generation, a little bit of the sort of strategic positioning work that you would be doing research time in, you are saving yourself time, but you're also giving yourself enough space to create things that are much more impactful in terms of graphics and videos and some of that other content that ultimately will have a disproportionate amount of influence on how engaging and engaging really is the factor that we're looking at with social marketing. So this is just an example of, creating the captions. And again, this is something I'm working on with our tone of voice update. And you can edit these and remove emojis if you need to. We have got a tone of voice upgrade that means that you can click a button and remove the emojis, but there's different things that you will want to make sure sound like your client, and just do a little tidy up of things and make sure that you're really happy with the final format, and then copy and paste it over into your document. So let's say introduce our nail art services, and then we can put the caption in here. So that's just to kind of tie that full circle. I'm going to remove that because it's not relevant to that particular line. But these are examples of posts that can live on a grid that isn't being updated regularly. Let's take, just for the sake of this, post a video tutorial on how to do this. So we're going to use the social freestyle tool, and we have got Facebook or Instagram, and we're going to put a video tutorial on how to maintain manicured nails at home. We are going to generate a caption for this, and we have got this little caption here. So this is the content that you've got already, that's lined up, and then the social freestyle tool drafts a post for you that will go alongside that piece of content. So that's particularly helpful if you are creating reels and short form content as well. And we've got a little topic there. We can also, if we are doing Pinterest management, we can also select Pinterest and do a caption and title for the same video, but to be added to Pinterest. So this has got a little title there, and then also a description. It is always going to pull out Walthamstow because that is the local area, and for local searches you always want to be including references to your geographic location, just to make sure that you're not having people see it from the other side of the world who've got no chance of ever coming over. You might get that kind of reach with like a viral post or something, but ultimately if our focus is on getting clients into a local business, we want to be messaging for our local area. So that's just to explain that. So the social freestyle tool, again, let's take another one here. So highlight the hygiene measures we take in our salon. So let's do this one and submit. So this is giving us Pinterest formatting for a Pinterest post, but let's go back to Instagram here and do this. So that you can just kind of see. And again, I'm using a nail salon because I'm a marketing specialist and it is like really far from what I do day to day. So I'm giving you the context of a business that is like absolutely new to me. It's not something that is part of my professional focus at all. So this is giving, again, caption. So we've got just some structural information about how the salon is kept clean. So again, we're just going to copy and paste this over and put this into our document here as well. So that is just to kind of show you how you would take from the social plan and actually create the captions within that, or draft the captions within that. And again, you might always want to have a greeting, but you might not want to. So we're going to remove the greetings from those as a form of edit. And the sort of brand relevant content there with your Instagram post, but also the ideas for things to share as far as different content titles are concerned, the meet the artist pieces, all of that is brand relevant. That's going to help people to get to know the business a little bit more. So let's go back up to our section here. We're going to look at repurposing content and specifically creating content, social media. I'm going to put social media content here for specific elements of our brand. Now, I'm going to use my own business for this because I have different examples that I can show you with it. So we are going to change things around slightly in Marketing Magic, but this is where if your clients have ever asked you to do repurposing, this is something that can be done just so quickly. So I'm just going to pull up some different documents in my Google Drive and pull them over. So we've got some things to work from when it comes to repurposing. Yes, there we go. So we are going to repurpose into, and we're going to add a new section here, repurposed content. We're going to do this so quickly that you will not know what to do with yourself. So we're going to repurpose a sales page into a social post, a podcast into a social post, a blog post into a social post, and an email into a social post. Okay. And we're just going to add headings again so that you can look at these after we are finished here and you've got a reference point for what this workflow looks like. But we're going to just format all of those. Most of the time on this workshop has been formatting this Google document, but I want to kind of just show you in real time without any done an advanced prep so that you can see it's possible to do this in under, we're at the 40-minute mark so far, for what is, a comprehensive amount of work. So we're going to start with a sales page into a social media post. So we're going to go to Heyman Extra and I'm going to take the Marketing Magic sales page and we are going to just copy and paste. Let's not copy and paste that bit. Let's copy and paste. Oh, let's copy and paste this bit here. So we're going to put this into our Content Magic repurposing tool. We're going to select Heyman Extra and we're going to select social media post and we are going to hit repurpose and it's going to take this content from the sales page and turn it into a social media post. So let me pull this back up, social post 1. social post 2. And we're going to do a third one and do social post 3. So this one will be our first social media post, and we have got a whole caption here. We're going to put that here. Let's put this in as social post 2, because I'm going to go back up to the top of this. We're also going to go back over to the social post, and we are going to copy and paste this introduction and call to action into here, and we're going to create our third social post, and then we're going to go back up to the top and create our first social post. And that is then 3 social posts that are pulled from existing content, repurposed, but are highlighting a particular product and the value of it to your social media audience without having to write things from scratch. So with this, it acts as an introduction, but an introduction within the context of Marketing Magic. So if I was doing a launch, or if I was promoting, for instance, the Marketing Magic commercial license, which we have got on a lifetime license offer at the moment, these posts would be a really great way to create some socially applicable content, but from an existing asset. So we're going to scroll all the way back up to the top here, and we are going to just copy and paste all of this and put it in to the tool, and we will see what it comes out with, because the formatting of that will be a little wacky. And we're just going to hit repurpose again. It's also copied and pasted some of the testimonials on my little animated scroller there as well. So you can really paste just very raw, unformatted content, and it typically will still give you something that's pretty well structured back in there. So this is this is the most salesy really of all of them, and it is because it's ultimately the introduction to the tool at the beginning. So if we want to change that, we can remove this bit at the top here, and we can just focus on the actual function. But for the sake of this, I'm going to copy and paste this into this section. So we've got 3 social posts from a sales page. Let's do a course transcript into a social post as well. So we're going to do that. So we've already got 3 social posts there. We're 3 minutes in to this section, and we are now going to take a podcast episode. Now, with Transcript Magic in this tool, we can head over here, we can upload a transcript, and we can get our marketing materials, and we can repurpose our actual audio files through Transcript Magic into things like social posts. So if you're a social media manager, that is something that is usable. Typically, though, if you've already got a transcript written already, and you're not kind of doing other things within your client's business, you can still use the content repurposing tool. And I have got my podcast episodes written out because I am just that. So I'm gonna take the episode content, I'm gonna put it into this section here, and I'm going to repurpose it. And it's going to take this, this could be a raw transcript. I have a micro podcast, so it's 3-minute episodes. So for me, obviously, it's super short. But this is then a social media post from that podcast episode. And apart from the fact that there's lots of emojis, these have historically been really great at summarizing down the key information into a social format. And I have really enjoyed doing that. Just take out some of the many emojis. And then, you can do that for a longer podcast episode. It might be that you've got, you take 3 sections and you create 3 different social media posts. I was talking to my friend Liz Mosley about this, because she's got a really cool podcast where she interviews different people for building your brand. It's the Building Your Brand podcast. And if you've got an interview format that's like 45 minutes, you can easily take, different sections for that and create, even 4 or 6 blog posts that are going to point people over then to listen to this week's episode. 4 or 6 is a lot, but if you're promoting it every week or 2 for the next like 8 weeks where you're mentioning that interview happened, you can get some kind of evergreen and longer term traffic and momentum going towards that episode as well. So that's the podcast episode. Let's leave that there. Now we're going to do a email marketing, email into a social post. This is an email that I sent in. This is an email that I sent in February. So let me copy and paste this in here. And this is a longer piece of content. So we are going to see how we get on with that in terms of time. It'll take a little bit longer. But this is, more of a blog post length, whereas my podcast episodes tend to be really short and sweet. So it's finished processing. And then we have got, again, a caption here. We're going to put this into our email into blog post. And we're going to remove attentional business owners. And then we've got some key takeaways. So it creates a value-driven caption as well. And you could turn that into a carousel really easily because you've got, the bullet points have been pulled out into that format as well. So that is the email into a social post. Now let's do blog post into a social post. And we are going to do one that I haven't done so far. Let's do customer-centric marketing. This actually is a series on my blog, on my podcast, repurposed into a long form post. Words are hard today. So we're going to take that. So this is a bit meta because my podcast has already been repurposed into a blog post, and now I'm repurposing the blog post into a social post for you here. But you get the gist. So we're going to take that and we're going to hit repurpose. And this is going to take that blog post and again, give us a caption for it once it's finished processing and thinking. And then we will have, we're 8 minutes in to this section of repurposing all of our different types of content. And we are going to copy and paste everything down, but we're not going to copy and paste the attention small business owners because I'm at war with that at the moment behind the scenes, just in general, for the tone of voice. So we're going to, again, just do some light edits here. And this has pulled out some obviously key elements of that blog post into a social caption format. So if you're starting with a body of content, you've got different information, this is a really great way to be able to repurpose and summarize content without having to write things from scratch. And I do talk more about that elsewhere in my business. So we have got an email into a social post. The last thing is a course transcript into a social post. And I want to show that to you because this is another way that you can repurpose your content without giving things away, but create natural ways of mentioning your courses, your programs, the things that you and your clients are selling. And you can do that via this. So let me just think of mapping your customer journey. Let's find a course transcript. So this is a course transcript that I have. Bear with me a second. So this is my customer journey mapping. So let's take these two sections. I want to do a chunky bit of, I want to do a chunky bit to see, to show you what it means and looks like to have like a big block of text. So we've got, it does up to 5,000 to 8,000 words. So we've got a really big chunk for marketing versus sales and the customer journey there. And if we hit repurpose, we can take that block of content that is actually really difficult to filter through and pull out the, specific relevant information for, and we can repurpose it into a social post like so. So let's put that in here as well. And we can see, marketing tips, sales versus customers. Ever wondered why some sales feel like a happy accident? Let's break it down. When your desires align with your customers' needs, that's when the magic happens. But here's the shift that we need to make, focus on building a loyal audience of customers, not just one-off sales. And then it summarizes the definition of marketing from the American Marketing Association, and it just gives, pulls out some different tips from that. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 social posts and all the demos thereof in the last sort of 10 minutes, 11 minutes. And the key thing is obviously knowing what social posts you're wanting to put out there, and then you can really easily repurpose content into it, because your role in the business is to understand who the customers are, understand how to get them to engage, understand what the business goals are and what the customers are looking for, so that you can create content that is going to build that audience. So it might not be that you think of yourself as somebody who has responsibility for knowing what your clients' customers need, but anytime you're working in a role that deals with communication, that deals with engaging with the audience, that is something that you need to be comfortable and confident with in order to be able to do your job really well. Keeping up to date with the trends in terms of different formats of content is, one part of the puzzle. Being able to confidently create the, video content or graphic content is another piece of the puzzle. But ultimately, you could be able to do both of those things really well. You could create really high quality videos. You could, feel really comfortable with exactly how to go viral on TikTok. But if your message is not coming across in the format or on the platform, your videos, your content, your social media work is going to fall flat. So understanding the engagement piece is a really key factor. And that's why I wanted to, demo the idea of understanding a little bit more of who our customers are, what kind of questions they might have, what topics they might be interested in, because those are the things that are going to help you get engagement sustainably across multiple platforms, regardless of how algorithms change over time. So when it comes to repurposing, if you have created that framework and then you've got really clear concepts for what those posts look like, generating the written content to go alongside your work is really making sure that you're capturing the tone of voice of your client a little bit more, making sure that it stays on message, and ultimately saving them from having to hire a copywriter as well as a social media marketer, because very specifically, my audience, the people that I'm talking to right now, you watching this, the people that you're working with, we are working with people who are smaller businesses. Marketing Magic is designed for people who work on their own or who have a very small team and who have, more limited resources. Not because you should be trying to use AI instead of paying people, but simply because with your current level of growth, investing in human support on a regular basis is a really big investment, and you want to understand how to manage those resources effectively, make sure that there's a return on investment from the work that you're doing for your client, so that over time, as their business grows, you can start to bring in other people to focus on the sort of nuance and the quality of more sort of nitty gritty and nuanced elements of your marketing. So as far as the social media side of things goes, that was really just to give you a bit of an overview of some of those tools. There are lots and lots of tools in Marketing Magic that can help with, insights in terms of brand, looking and understanding who your customers are, getting, Facebook ads and social posts for specific products for your clients, and just really understanding a little bit more about how their own ecosystem can be communicated through social channels, but also through their other marketing channels as well. So if you want to try Marketing Magic out for yourself, you can get a free trial. It's a 7-day free trial, and you can try it out for your business and see how it all works and try all of these things for yourself. I will be emailing out the document with a roundup of these sessions that I'm doing this week, so you'll be able to kind of see that document for yourself. But you can get the commercial license if you want to use Marketing Magic with your clients at a one-off lifetime price. So you pay once and then that's it. You have access lifetime account. And if you get it before tomorrow, you save $300. So $300 will be added to all of these prices tomorrow. So the commercial license for 10 clients per year will be $12.97 from tomorrow. So that's just to mention this. But once you are actually in Marketing Magic, you're trying it out for yourself, you're seeing how it can work, then you can make a decision as to whether you want to start to use it for your client projects as well. And we do include a lot of support and have dedicated support calls for our commercial client users. You can just use it for your own business as well. You don't need a commercial account, but if you are intending to use AI with your clients, especially if you're repurposing their content and content from courses and things like that, you really, really have got to be super cautious about where you're, copying and pasting that content. And I would highly recommend not ever using ChatGPT for that kind of work with your clients. Using ChatGPT for stuff that's already in the public domain is one thing, but I personally would advise using more secure methods. If you have not seen the document that I have about that already, do let me know in the comments. I can link you over to it, but I've got a document that just explains the sort of ChatGPT, OpenAI, and the sort of data privacy things, particularly with a focus on client work. I did talk about that in yesterday's webinar, so I'm not going to dwell on it too much today, but if you are only watching today's and you didn't see that, then do let me know. I can point you in the direction of that document. So let me go over to the chat. I finished within an hour. Obviously, I haven't answered anyone's questions yet. So let me go through and just double check. And if you're watching the replay again, pop your questions in the comments. Erin, every time I see you run this, I'm crossing myself. I haven't made time to play with it and set it up yet. Kicking it on my to-do list again. Erin, I guarantee if you put it at the top of your to-do list and procrastinate all of the other things that you need to do, you are going to save yourself so much time that the rest of your to-do list will get done in record time. And I do not make that promise lightly. I really have sort of seen that happen for lots and lots of our users. We've got people who are saving 40 hours a month at the moment, and it's helping them get stuff off their to-do list that has been on it for like historic stuff, like 18 months or longer, those things that you've really wanted to get around to because you know it's going to help you grow your business in the long term, but it's just not something that you have time to get your head around. And Marketing Magic takes you from it being on your to-do list to it being done without you needing to mentally engage with the strategic decision needed for different parts. So things like SEO, right? How can you optimize your web pages? As well, Marketing Magic has SEO Magic, which helps you to do that and makes that a little bit easier. So that is there. Rachel just being an icon in the chat. Jacqueline, well, we found the document links after the session. I will be putting them into the app at some point this week, but I will also be emailing them out. And Jacqueline, I will make sure that you get those as well, because I know that you are obviously one of our Marketing Magic customers. So we'll make sure that you get those straight after the session. Yes, if the sessions are showing in your calendar, you'll be registered and you will absolutely get them as well. Transcript Magic is incredible. Transcript Magic is incredible. Transcript Magic is just so cool. So let me, while we're talking about Transcript Magic, just I'm going to talk about that a little bit more, because if you are a social media manager, this is something obviously that I already touched on, that you can use it to create marketing materials. So let's take this How to Talk to Robots Without Losing Your Humanity. It was like a little session that I did for a summit, the Neurodivergent Entrepreneurs Summit, which if you I think you can get on Evergreen, really good as just an event. It's a really great quality event. Create social media posts. So we're just going to click on create social media posts and this will draft 3 different posts, I believe. I can't remember if it's 3 or 5 from the transcript, so that you can repurpose in this case, it was an audio that I uploaded into alternative content. Now, once you've got these social posts, it's really easy to then be able to mention, I talk more about this in this place, or, we cover this in more detail over here, and it gives you really organic ways of being able to share what else is going on. So this is giving me some short form tweets. So we've got a little post 1 to 5 for doing that. So Transcript Magic is still in beta as well. And I've had a couple of people who've asked me about the blog post formatting. So there's some updates coming to that this week. When you are in the Marketing Magic community, me and Rachel are working on anything that our customers are mentioning. We're looking at ways to improve it and to make sure that your experience is as streamlined as possible and that your results are as streamlined as possible as well, and that you're not having to spend a lot of time editing and prompting these AI models as you work. So let me just do you give me all the tools, because this lists out then all of the different things that you can do within Transcript Magic. So the summaries is great, but the other thing that works really well for social media management is this extract key quotes feature. And what this does is pulls out sort of 15 of the sort of sound bites that you might have in a transcript. They're really good for creating quote graphics, for being topical inspiration for social media posts. So we are looking at this, like if I was to think about social posts for my channels, how meta, because you might be watching this on Facebook, but so you might see this become reality at some point. But AI automates the reasoning or the logic behind tasks. So it's a way of automating tasks that would normally require the cognitive intelligence of a human. So if I was to do some posts that talk a bit more about like debunking AI, like AI isn't going to gain consciousness and become human, looking at what the automation process is for AI, like why is it, what kind of intelligence is it automating, and things like that. So that would be, you know, a good post. AI innovation and development has been going on since the 1950s. It's stalled because of a lack of data. Again, a really great starting point for a conversation around where AI has come from. Did it start with ChatGPT? Is it a new fad? Well, no, it's actually been going on for a little while. And then productivity as a measure of value is dehumanizing and robotic. I talk about this quite a lot when I'm talking about AI, because AI ultimately is about getting things done more quickly. And you know, the tech space, it's a whole soapbox that I could jump onto. But the idea of productivity as a core measure of our value is something that we see widely in our society, and it is also why people find AI to feel quite threatening, because who are we if we can't be productive, if we can't be the most productive? So when we're thinking about some of these issues, the idea of AI being able to do something faster than we can, or AI knowing more than we know, ultimately what it's doing is just predictive, and we can use that spacious time once we've automated a little bit with AI to do things like create more interesting video content, right? To come up with different campaign concepts that are a bit more creative and kind of allow us to deliver messages in a way that has not been done before in our spaces, to have conversations that are communicating what our business and our brands are all about, but from a place of, you know, there is this spaciousness there. You don't need to be in this cycle of churning out SEO blog posts in order to get traction. You can get traction by doing things in a interesting or creative way. So these all are things that I would use personally as a starting point if I was thinking about mapping out some content around this. I notoriously don't do a lot on social media because I find it really energy draining, and I enjoy, you know, talking and connecting with people. But for the last year in particular, I've been doing a lot of development stuff and my health has been really bad. So for me, social media has been less of a focus because I've been doing more that is like scalable around my emails and all of that kind of thing. So some of the stuff that I've talked to you about today, you might be like, well, actually, you're not using this on your own social channels. I know. And you can at me about it and I will happily explain why. But I've, you know, worked with people who've got really significant social audiences and their business has been built off the back of that. And I have designed social strategy, including ad strategy for, you know, thought leaders and people who've got best-selling books. So when it comes to, you know, how these can be used, I am giving you sort of framework based on my historic experience, not my current social channels and how active I am on them. So you've got repurpose your marketing materials. There's also this FAQ section, which again makes great social posts because it will pull out questions and answers from the audio, and these can make really cool social posts as well because it's almost the topic and the answer in one as something that can be formatted. So what is AI and why should I care about it as a small business owner? That is a Q&A right there that we could use as a social post. You could do a carousel with the top 5 questions and answers, but there's lots of different ways of repurposing it. You can also get some action points pulled out of the transcript, so cheat sheets and checklists. These things also can be really great when it comes to engagement and providing people with actionable, value-driven content. So if you are a social media manager and you decide to use the commercial license with your clients, there's a lot that you can do here where previously you might not have been able to manage to watch all of the client videos or read through all of the documents and existing transcripts because you're on like a 10-hour a month retainer or something. But with this tool, you are able to create much higher quality social content from your client's backlog as well, because the process of drafting out the actual content is minimized. So hopefully that makes sense. So any questions that come in, I will get back to you in the comments. But meanwhile, if you want to try Marketing Magic, we're going to put Marketing Magic and we're just going to do the trial link here. And this is what the page looks like. You just sign up and then set up your own account and you will be able to try all of these things out for yourself. So the link for that is here on the screen. So it's just marketingmagic.app/trial-sign up. So enjoy getting stuck into your social content. I will be sending out the document. I just need to figure out to make sure that you don't receive too many emails from me if you're registered for the series, because obviously it's over the next 10 days. So what I might do is create a landing page and send you the link to that. And then obviously you can go and take any of the ones that you want to without getting an email from me every single day. So I will pop an email around about that. Penelope, I will put the link on, I'll send it out by email and then I will put it on, I'm going to put it on a landing page. I've just decided here in the moment. So I'll make sure that you get that. But I've got these happening every day for the next, until the 29th of March. So I think I've got one day off out of that. But apart from that, we'll be having regular live streams that explore different areas. If there is a particular service provision that you would like me to demo Marketing Magic with and do this process for it, request it in the chat, because we have already got them mapped out a little bit. But if there's requests from people, I'm happy to be flexible as we're pulling out different things to make sure that these sessions are as helpful for you as possible. So thank you. Yes, Penelope, I know that you're already in Marketing Magic. So I will email it around, and it just means that you'll get the email because you're already part of the community. So I will do that next after I turn off this video. And then I also might link to it from somewhere in Marketing Magic, but I need to figure that out. So yeah, my brain is not at its best today. Tuesdays are normally my no call day so that I can mentally recuperate, because I'm an introvert. So doing things that are talking based is always slightly roopier on a Tuesday. Awesome. I'm going to leave it there for now. Again, like I said, if you have any questions, do ask in the chat, in the comments. I'm around. So Lucy's around, Rachel's around, we're all around, so we can answer any of the sort of specific use cases or any questions that you've got. And if you want to save $300 on your commercial license, then you can sign up, try out Marketing Magic for yourself today, and then make that decision before the end of day tomorrow to get that. And it is a lifetime license, so it's one time and then that's it. And it will be the best money that you spend on your business, because it's just going to make your life a whole lot easier. So enjoy the rest of your Tuesday, whatever time it is for you, whether it's first thing and you're getting ready to start your day, or whether, like me, you're about to go for your lunch, or maybe you're ending your day. But whatever the rest of Tuesday has in store, I hope that it's a good one, and I will catch you on the next live stream.